Hey, let's. I want to talk about the sports card market for a minute here, specifically Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards, and uh, in what I've noticed in sports cards, this is like with most everything. When something's hot, that's probably the time when you don't buy. That's usually when you dump the stuff. When uh, when things are like cool, that's when you go pick them up. When things are cooled off, so like. I've been noticing, I didn't pay too much attention, but I know Antman is doing Anthony Edwards. Minnesota Timberwolves are doing fantastic. They're like giving it to Denver like nobody else has, and his cards are like the hottest thing right now, and people are buying. So I mean, before you could have got one of his PSA 10 rookie cards. It's the 2020-2021 Panini card number 258 in a PSA 10 for under $200. I mean, before this season started, even I think those cards were ranging like quite a bit lower. Definitely under 200. Then you were able to get them for like even just like at the end of last month, April. When did the playoffs start? Just a couple weeks ago, his cards were $200 for a PSA 10. I'm seeing sales like literally on eBay here for a regular, not a silver or any other prism. I've seen some of his sales for 350, 400, 500. All of a sudden everyone's just going crazy and going buying his cards. I mean, Brunson's cards are, I think, typically up about 10 to 20% depending on what it is, but Anthony Edwards cards, some of his cards are up 40, 50%. It's ridiculous. And right now is not the time to buy his cards. Do not go in there. Don't FOMO. Maybe if you wanted to go get some raw copies, if you see a raw copy that you think you could turn into a PSA 10, that right now might be a good time to do that. But by the time you get it to PSA and back, the season's gonna be over, and this is that out of sight, out of mind thing. And I tend to like to buy my basketball cards. I buy them when the season's over, but if it's like the new rookies coming in after the draft and stuff, I do like to get some of the cards. The Chet Holmgren thing was kind of a different situation, because here's what I did last year is so I stocked up on Chet Holmgren rookie cards. They didn't make it to the playoffs. They had a good run at the end. They almost got to the playoffs last year, Oklahoma City Thunder. But I went and bought a bunch of PSA 10s, his Red Ice, his rookies, the Monopolies, all kinds of stuff. And I even bought some raw copies as well. Some of the numbered Monopoly cards, like the pink to 249. I bought some of that stuff. And, the season ended, he didn't play. But then when they got to the, I guess when they're doing the preseason and it's mostly rookies playing, so Chet was starting to light it up. Wemby was starting to light it up, but Wemby didn't have any cards out. But Chet, he had a rookie card out, and he never got to see the promise of that. So basically, this was his rookie season. So I bought up a bunch of his stuff, January of last year, and I was buying it as the stuff was dropping in price. But as soon as he started lighting it up during the preseason, his cards went up 20, 30%. So $50 cards were selling for like 80 and things like that. So that's when I offloaded them. I mean, I made quite a bit of money off of Chet Holmgren. Another thing that you could do with the 49ers, so they got Brock Purdy. I went and bought some of his PSA 10s, SGC 10s. I bought them during the, I guess, like summer to preseason. And the quarterbacks really don't play full preseason. So it doesn't really do anything, not like the basketball for them. So I bought his cards during that time. I sold after he had like a 5-game win streak, and his cards just went through the roof. Basketball, football, baseball, sports cards are like that. Don't ever buy when the athlete is doing fantastic. You buy in the off season. You buy, here's another example. There's the in baseball. It's Shohei Ohtani. His cards are super hot. When he has like a really big game and it puts him on people's minds, they go and they like go buy his cards. Could go up 5-10% like that, something like that. And God forbid he hits for the cycle, and boom, everyone's gonna be, the cards will like go up like crazy. Or say Luka hits a 80-point game or 70-point game, Luka's cards are all of a sudden overnight going to go up 10, 15, $20, something like that, maybe more, who knows. So this is kind of what's going on with like Anthony Edwards. His cards are getting ridiculously priced. Go try to buy a base Prism PSA 10, and you're gonna end up being paying like double what it was, maybe almost double. So we're talking about like 60, 70, 80% more than you would have just 2 or 3 weeks ago. Maybe at the beginning of the season is another time in basketball that I don't like buying. Usually, if you look at the price graphs for cards, like Luka's rookie card at the beginning of the season took a nice little bump up. A PSA 10 was going, for about $225 or something like that. But during the long 82 game season, that card dipped back down to about $200. And then now with the playoffs in swing, starting maybe after the March Madness, NCAA stuff, people's attention is really back onto that basketball home stretch. And so his cards in that stretch right there started going up to 250. I've seen sales at 280, which, for the longest, his card just kind of held at like about 225 or so. Dips down to 2, gets back to 225. He has a big game, something happens, it gets to 250, but I've seen some sales at like 280, which it's never the best time to buy when they're at the high like that. If you're not following like the price charts, you're gonna end up losing a little bit of money. Right now is not a good time to buy Antman. If you bought him, if you've seen this coming and you bought back in December, January, February, you can make some pretty good money. I mean, literally spent $1,000 on Anthony Edwards cards. You're probably selling them right now for $1,600. After fees and all that stuff, you can make you turn your 1,000 into about $1,400. And it gets bigger and bigger. There's investors who go and spend $10,000-$15,000 on a player, banking on the fact that his cards are going to do that. And Anthony Edwards has done that. Jalen Brunson, it's a little bit more lunch money. Your 1,000 could be, $1,150 or something after fees, because you are going to always incur selling fees unless you have your own shop, which those shops have overhead, lights, all that kind of stuff. It's, marketing, everything. So it's like right now is definitely don't buy the Antman cards unless you just want it for your collection. In the long run, they're going to be worth those values, but they're definitely going to dip. The Anthony Edwards cards are going to get back down to there'll be a $200 rookie card in a PSA 10, the base ones, and then you got, of course, the silvers and stuff were unreal prices on some of this stuff, but it goes up and down with the player. There's seasons. There's a reason they call it a season. And when the players are in season, when they're doing good, the prices go up. Prices get bumps here and there for, certain anomalies. Like I said, like a 70-point game, all of a sudden everyone's going to look for the cards. The casual fans, the real hardcore fans, it puts them on their mind. So I have some Wemby cards, some that I pulled out of packs, some, and I've sold some when they were hot, like at the beginning. As soon as a set comes out, the Monopoly, I made quite a bit of money off all the Wembys that I pulled out of there I didn't want. But now, they've kind of leveled off and stuff. So, $12 Wemby cards, I was selling them for $35 at the beginning, as soon as they came, because I got boxes a little bit early. But now it's, now it's time to hold on to like the Wembys right now, and the buying opportunity for his cards is going to be, in the off season, when people are thinking about other sports. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and try to find me some, just a nice binder full of Wembys, set those to the side, and then maybe during the season, rinse, recycle, do the same thing, sell him when he's hot, sell him when, he has a 10 block game and, scores 30 something points and does another 5x5, 5x5, it's just, you got to watch those kind of things. Don't buy when everything's hot. And that's something that a lot of people, I think they just seem to forget. I wouldn't even touch an Antman card right now, maybe unless it's a raw card or something like that. But just, like I said, people they get a little too gung-ho about something. Like I said, it's the Brunson one's going up like 10 to 20%. Not as bad. I mean, right now probably a good time to just grab again some raw cards like that, and you can possibly submit those, get your PSA 10s if you're lucky they come back as 10s. But like I said, I'd wait. The Antman cards, if you wait during the summer, wait before the season starts, buy up some of those PSA 10s when they get back down to 200. Trust me, if the Timberwolves do as good as they are this year, which they should, unless they totally screw up their team or something totally bad happens, someone gets injured or something, those cards will be worth more than they are now. I mean, those PSA 10s might be hitting 500s during the time, and that's when you sell, because they're gonna come back down. But 10 or 15 years from now, those PSA 10s are probably gonna be worth a whole lot more. We're looking at LeBron's cards. All his old rookie cards are worth tons of money. I feel like the Wemby cards are going to be the next big one. The Curry, LeBrons, Jordans, the Wembys. I mean, you go get a rookie card of Blake Griffin. The potential was there for him to be one of those generational crazy, but it's not there. Kawhi Leonard. I mean, these are the good players, but they're not the guys. Luka Doncic is one of those guys that his cards are going to be ridiculous in the future. So you buy them when they're low, hold on to them, good. Or if you're one of those, that's the two schools of thought, is the buy low, sell high for the quick flip, or buy whenever and hold for years. So I like both of those schools of thought, for whether it's TCG cards or sports cards or whatever, NASCAR, hockey, I don't care, golf, whatever it is, it's always buy low, sell high. But if you're in it for the long run, it's like real estate. You could buy at a bad time. The price of houses could go down in the short term, but in the long run, you're always going to be above. Especially if you buy in the right place, the right markets, at the right time. You won't lose if you're in it for the long run. I mean, it's rare that investments over time lose something. I mean, unless it's something like a really bad investment. I don't know too much about like the Bitcoins and stuff like that. I don't know if those are good investments or not. We'll see over time. I know there's a lot of people that's lost their ass on stuff like that because they don't know what it was, and it was easy to scam people. A lot of scammers and stuff like that. So. And again, in sports cards, there's people that make fakes and stuff like that. It's easy to spot those usually for someone who's been in the game long enough. But there's always someone who wants to take your money, and not do any work. So, but yeah, so I would stay away right now from the Antman cards, or if you have a stockpile of them, right now is a good time to sell. Maybe wait till the next game. If Antman, Milwaukee takes out Denver, his prices will again probably take another shot. It was like a steroid, boom, bump up your money a little bit. But in the off season though, they will dip. So right now is a good time to sell. Off season will be a good time to pick them up again. Maybe make that quick money and then go grab some more. Rinse, wash, recycle, like they say, and do it again. All right, man. That's the end of this discussion. I like to rant about some of the investing stuff, and yeah, always be safe with your money. I'm not a financial advisor. So take that with a grain of salt. These are just my thoughts, and I do like making money off of hobby sports cards, Pokemon cards, all kinds of stuff. So, all right, have a great day, everybody. Out.